Guys, Mr. Santos here. Hope you're doing well. Yesterday, Wednesday, May 6th, I had our Google Meet. And during this Google Meet, we discussed Romeo and Juliet, what you're going to be doing for the next 5 weeks. Only about 30% of 78 freshmen came. So this is a little video directions so you know what you're expected to do in the next couple weeks. We will be going over this more. You'll have any opportunity to email me if you're stuck or you have any questions. Please let me know. But this is just a quick little video explanation of what you'll be expected to do. So, in this document, Romeo and Juliet, this is what we'll be working with the next couple weeks. Do not turn it in until I tell you to. You're going to see, if you click right here, My Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, this is a play we're going to be working with. Act 1, it pretty much goes Act 1, if you go to Act 1 prologue, you can read that as well. The cool thing about this is that the play is read to you, so if you hit this, it will read it to you and also show you what line you're at. So if you're dozing off, if you want to stop it, you pause it and it'll show you where you're at, because you'll have to be doing a few things with theme. We'll talk about that in 1 second. So this is what you'll be using primarily. You will be responsible for 1 act a week, so you'll be reading 1 act a week, and then we'll be doing something with it at the end. So, next 5 weeks, we're reading this. Back to this document. This is the document we're working with. You're going to choose 2 themes at the end. Remember, theme is not just a topic. Remember, topic helps us get the theme, but it's not the overall product. We talked about how we used Buzz Lightyear with Toy Story. If you guys can refer back to maybe December or January, when we talked about theme and literature and how, friendship in Toy Story was not just a theme. It had to do with the theme, and it helped us develop the theme. But we can't just say a theme of the movie is friendship. It's much deeper than that. It's much more complex. So we use that little sentence frame. And I'm sure if you go back and remember the Toy Story discussion, you should be able to remember it. So also very important, when you're copying and pasting quotes, we're doing Act 1, or for example, Act 1, Scene 1. So how you would do it is, if you're getting this from Act 1, Scene 1, oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore the Romeo, that's in Act 2, Scene 1. But let's say it's Act 1, Scene 1. You're going to put 1 for the act, and then 2 for the scene. So it will look like this. Your citation will look like that. Let's say it's Act 3, Scene 4. It would be 3.4. You're not putting Shakespeare's last name for the purpose of this exercise. I just want to make sure you guys understand the citation. So, we have here's 6 themes we're working with: fate and individual decisions, love and lust, clashing perspectives, miscommunication, social expectations, and violence. Remember, these are topics, but it's going to be much bigger than that when we review our themes. So, what I'd like you to do this week when you read Act 1 is, I want you to find quotes in the play from Act 1 that reflect these 2 literary terms. So we have soliloquy, and we also have aside. Now, we did this in our Google Meet. Just a brief note, and you can pause it right here if it helps you, because I gave you aside right here. So you can put this in your document. Aside is pretty much stage direction given to characters that the audience is aware of, the characters are aware of, that they perform. Now, soliloquy is a little different. It's a monologue where the character is revealing something about themselves to the audience. So, for example, when you're talking about yourself in the third person, you're revealing things about yourself. You might be in a soliloquy giving a monologue about your feelings. So, just little notes here. You don't have to write it down, but just to help you understand this term. And again, if you click these 2, it's going to go right to the definitions for you. So, solo to themselves are the characters and sharing their feelings, unspoken reflections. There's a big one in Act 2, Scene 2, which I'll make a video about next week, so you see it. But there's a big soliloquy in Act 2, Scene 2, with Romeo at the balcony. So what I'd like you to do is, you have a side here. I just want you from the text. When you find this aside, this is in Act 1, Scene 1. It just says it right there as well. Aside to Gregory, is the law of her side if I say I? And then we have it cited 1.1 because you found Act 1, Scene 1. So all you're really responsible now, since I gave you that one, is to find a soliloquy a monologue, a character talking about themselves to the audience, or having a sharing their feelings and unspoken reflections. That's what your interpretation of that, of what you think. If you think the character is revealing something bigger or revealing something about themselves, that you go ahead and copy and paste that, and make sure you copy what what scene you got that in from Act 1. As we go along, we're looking for citations, and we're looking for instances in the text, inferences from the text. I'm sorry, that support the theme. So we have our themes right here. So let's say eventually we see fate and individual decisions in Act 3. We have to put a citation here from the text that supports that theme. So that's what we'll be doing for the next 5 weeks. Our distance learning ends June 5th. There will be a grading policy sent out by the district sooner rather than later. It is very important, as I told the students that came to the Google Meet, very important to keep up with your emails, to keep up with your communication. I've been reaching out to a lot of you, to you and your parents, and unfortunately I just haven't heard back from you. So I hope you guys are okay. I hope everything's well. But if you see email from me in regards to grading, I really would appreciate if you got back to me, because it's gonna be very important to be in communication with all your teachers when this grading policy goes into effect. And of course, the district will send out all the details. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me, and I'll probably have a review of what it's gonna be when it comes out on a Google Meet or something. But again, it's really on you guys to be in communication and to do the work. It is important to be on task and get this done. So again, I miss you guys like crazy. Hope you're doing okay. I know this isn't fun. I know I'd rather be in the I know you'd rather be in the classroom. I'd rather be in the classroom, but we got 5 weeks. I want to make the best of it, and I will put out another little scheduled thing on this Monday. But this is what you're going to be doing this week. Open up this document right here. Again, you have your play right there, and then go ahead and start reading. Remember, when you read, hit this little icon here for the volume. When you need to go to the next scene, hit that tab right there. We're just reading Act 1 for this week. Next week, before you start Act 2, I'll post a little review for you so you can review Act 1, the main takeaways from Act 1. Okay, so again, be aware of your communication. Look out for the update this upcoming Monday, and I look forward to hearing from you all soon. Take care.